is 9 p.m. in RTD's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the head of state attends the 6th African Union Summit in Ghana, Accra. Tours facilitating home loans for low-income households. For the international scene, Joe Biden withdraws, Kamala Harris steps up to the plate. Welcome to our newsroom. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, took part this Sunday in the work of the 6th Coordination Summit of the African Union, a biannual meeting devoted, among the other things, to assessing the level of progress of its regional economic communities. In relation to the objectives of economic integration established in 2017, the Coordination Summit of the African Union, with its distinct economic regions, very quickly acquired real notoriety and acuity on the continental scene. This is undoubtedly due to the fact that it was able to quickly take on the virtues of an illustrious meeting in the services of an objective assessment of the priority defined for the African organization and through it for all its member states. This is why the African Union's biannual meeting today serves as a forum for discussing, questioning, and analyzing the major preoccupations of the continental organizations, Africa's capacity for economic integration, its ability to acquire all the attributes essential to its financial and therefore political autonomy, the propensity of its member states to invariably approach the resolutions of dispute through the prism of dialogue. These are just some of the issues regularly on the agenda of the AU Coordination Summit. As part of his trip to Accra, the President of the Republic is accompanied by a high-level delegations, including the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, the Ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to Ethiopia, Abdi Mahmoud Eibe, the Ambassador of Djibouti to Cote d'Ivoire, Mohamed Burhan Ali, and the Director of Multilateral Relations at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Guelleh. The delegation led by the President Guelleh to Ghana also included the Chief of Staff of the Presidency of the Republic, Mohamed Abdul Qadir Ibrahim, and the Head of State's Diplomatic Advisor, Fathia Jama Udin. For his part, the Head of State, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, has indicated in his speech that listen for the Head of State.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Monsieur le chef d'État et de gouvernement, Monsieur le Président de la Commission, Mesdames et Messieurs, at the outset, allow me to express my heartfelt thanks to my brother, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana, as well as the Ghanaian people, for the warm welcome and generous hospitality extended to us since our arrival in this beautiful city of Accra. À juste titre,
Mr. Chairman, said the Head of State, despite the progress made by our Union, our challenges remain numerous and pressing, particularly with regards to peace and security. Today, we meet with a deep sense of urgency as the IGAD region is going through difficult times with the situation in Sudan. This conflict has triggered an unprecedented humanitarian crisis. Beyond the war between the two sides, the tensions and growing ethnic conflicts between local communities in many areas are immense. The many peace efforts are underway, whether under the auspices of IGAD, the AU, the Jeddah process, or the initiatives of neighboring countries, remain stalled to this day. Obtaining a firm and tangible commitment to a ceasefire from the parties to the conflict has proved difficult. Djibouti, as current chairman of IGAD and a sister country of Sudan, has supported all initiatives aimed at establishing a dialogue, paving the way to lasting peace from the very outset. The Head of State, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, has indicated, Mr. Chairman, the longer the fighting continues, the greater the risk is of a complete collapse of Sudan. We are also deeply concerned about the extremely serious consequences this war will have on its immediate neighbors and the Horn of Africa as a whole. It is therefore incumbent on us as African brothers to continue to seek a peaceful and lasting solutions as soon as possible. To this end, the IGAD presidency, in collaboration with the AU and EU, the Arab League and the United Nations, as well as the main member state involved in peace efforts in Sudan, will be meeting in Djibouti on July 24-26 for a mediator retreat. The aim of the retreat is to bring together the various initiatives and peacefully return Sudan to an inclusive and well-coordinated political process through credible dialogue. It is our hope that at the end of this trip, all stakeholders will speak with one voice and leverage their capabilities and influence to bring an end to this senseless war and alleviate the suffering of the Sudanese people. And then the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, held bilateral talks this Sunday with his counterpart from Angola, João Lourenço, on the sidelines of the 6th Coordination Summit of the African Union, which opened this morning in Accra, the capital of Ghana. During this meeting, the head of state discussed bilateral relations with his counterpart, as well as ways and means of promoting and further developing them. It should also be noted that the President of Djibouti, current chairman of IGAD, took full advantage of this audience to call for the intensification of partnership for the exchanges of expertise between the various economic regions of Africa, in addition to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, and the Ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Abdi Mahmoud Eibe, the Ambassador of Djibouti to Cote d'Ivoire, Mohamed Burhan Ali, the Director of Bilateral Relations, Ambassador Guelleh, the Chief of Staff of the Presidency, Mohamed Abdul Qadir Ibrahim, and the Diplomatic Advisor to the Head of State, Fathi Jama Udin, took part in these bilateral meetings of the Head of State with his counterpart from Angola. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, held bilateral talks this Sunday with his counterpart from Nigeria, Mr. Bola Tinubu, on the sidelines of the 6th Coordination Summit of the African Union, which opened this morning in Accra, the capital of Ghana. During this meeting, the head of state discussed bilateral relations with his counterpart, as well as ways and means of promoting further developing them. It should also be noted that the President of Djibouti, current chairman of IGAD, took full advantage of this audience to call for the intensification of partnership for the exchanges of expertise between the various economic regions of Africa, in addition to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, the Ambassador of Ethiopia, Abdi Mahmoud Eibe, the Ambassador of Djibouti to Cote d'Ivoire, Mohamed Burhan Ali, and the Director of Bilateral Relations, Ambassador Guelleh, and the Chief of Staff of the Presidency, Mohamed Abdul Qadir Ibrahim, and the Diplomatic Advisor to the Head of State, Fathi Jama Udin, took part in these bilateral meetings of the Head of State with his respective counterparts from Nigeria. In an spirit of institutional cooperation, the Minister of Economy and Finance in charge of Industry, His Excellency Ilyas Musa Dawale, and the Minister of City, Urban Planning and Housing, Her Excellency Madam Amina Abdi Aden, convened a high-level working meeting bringing together the heads of conventional financial institutions. The event was attended by the Governor of the Central Bank, Mr. Ahmed Osman Ali, as well as Madam Shukri Abdullahi Muhammad, Chairman of Board of Directors of the FOGAD, and the Managing Directors of Arulos and FOGAD, respectively Mr. Abdurrahman Ali Ahmed and Awad Ahmed Awad Mut'i. The meeting was held to explore and promote the new mortgage guarantee window recently introduced by the Ministry of Town Planning and Housing. This initial innovative scheme aims to extend and facilitate access to home loans for low-income households, in a sector hitherto often neglected by financial institutions. The Governor of the Central Bank agreed on the importance of the meeting and a key moment to discuss the modalities of use of this mortgage guarantee, underlining the need of maximizing its potential for the benefit of modest households. The Managing Director of Arulos and FOGAD then outlines the national housing strategy, current challenges, and mapping of existing public supply. They also clarified the eligibility criteria and implementation procedures for this guarantee, providing essential elements for a thorough understanding of the scheme. For her part, the Minister of City, Urban Planning and Housing, Madam Amina Abdi Aden, then detailed the effort made by her ministry to implement this mechanism available to financial institutions since June 26, 2023, and the results of a file survey conducted with the support of the World Bank. For his part, the Minister of Economy and Finance, Ilyas Musa Dawale, reiterated the crucial importance of this new guarantee window, underlining its strategic role in achieving government objectives to improve housing conditions for the most vulnerable families. The Secretary of State for Sport received the Executive Committee of the Collective of Local Elected Officials and Leaders United for Sustainable Development today, Sunday, July 21. The Secretary of State for Sports granted an audience to the Executive Committee of the Collective of the Leaders for the Sustainable Development. The meeting was an opportunity to salute and congratulate the collective ongoing effort to promote sport through the annual organizations of the Grand Tournoi de la Paix de l'Amitié. Now it is in fourth edition. The Secretary of State warmly congratulated the collective on their commitment and significant contribution to the development of sport. He stressed the importance of such initiatives in strengthening community ties and promoting peace and friendship between communes. Mr. Faisal, president of the collective, expressed his gratitude to the Secretary of State for these recognitions and honor. He reiterated the collective commitment to continue its effort to promote national sport in recognition of the work accomplished. The Secretary of State presented the collective with a crystal plate symbolizing the ministry's appreciations of support for their beneficial actions. This morning in Sheraton conference room, an eclectic gatherings of decision makers, experts, and rural community representatives gathered to take part in the inclusive national dialogue on rural electrification through a mini-grid organized by the Ministry of Energy in partnership with the Ministry of Environment and Sustainable Development. This major event is supported by the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP. The conference opens with lively, passionate discussions and strategic exchanges. Detailed maps of the country's rural regions punctuated by red dots marking the size of potential mini-electricity grid adorned the walls. In the centers of the room, round tables were carefully arranged, each seat labeled with the names and affiliations of each participant, creating an atmosphere of intense collaboration. Participants from all over the countries were driven by the same visions to bring stable, sustainable electrification to often forgotten rural areas. The voice of senior government officials rang out with authority, interwoven with the innovative ideas of technical specialists and the moving testimonies of the local communities representatives. Everyone had a crucial concerns of sustainable development and improved living conditions. The session was chaired by the Secretary General of the Ministry of Energy, Mr. Mohamed Kile, and the Secretary General of the Ministry of Environment, Mr. Din Abdullah Umar. For his part, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Environment, Mr. Din Abdullah Umar, as the lively debate said that a strategic presentation has progressed, a glimmer of optimism seemed to spread among the participants. The technical and financial challenges were many, but the collective will to find solutions was palpable. For his part, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Energy, Mr. Mohamed Kile, said that the hours spent in these conference rooms would shape not only future policies but also the energy destinies of thousands of people living in the most remote parts of the countries. This Monday, July 2024, At 5 a.m., the Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces, General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, paid an inspection visit to the barracks under construction at Lakasal. The purpose of the visit was to assess the progress of infrastructure works essential for the strategic development of these regions, accompanied by several high-ranking military officials. General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim stressed the need to accelerate the pace of work to achieve the objectives set. The infrastructure of these barracks is crucial to strengthening the military presence and ensuring security in this area, considered to be the country's future economic link. During the inspection, particular attention was paid to the security arrangement in places. The general personally verified that all protective measures were respected and optimized to guarantee the safety of the installations and personnel. The general also focused on the morale of the men deployed on this position. He exchanged views with the soldiers to ensure their well-being and commitment, underlining the importance of their role in the country's defense and development. On the same day, General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim also carried out a surprise inspections of the Rapid Intervention Battalion barracks in Ali Une. The security arrangements were thoroughly reviewed to ensure their effectiveness and responsiveness to any potential threat. The ongoing training programs was also checked to ensure that it meet the highest standards of preparations and military competence required. Troop morale and living conditions were closely inspected, with the general taking times to listen to soldiers' concerns and offer encouragement. The general did not hesitate to offer some practical advice and even lavished lessons in close orders on the officers present, demonstrating his personal commitment to excellence and disciplines within the Armed Forces. The Chief of the Armed Forces, General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, concluded his visit by recalling the strategic importance of these barracks and encouraging the team to continue their efforts with determination and efficiency.
tahay ilwaadey markiyan askari gala harligaynu leenahay ebba ugu dhaartoon ogada xilsaaray arlagu gam'aanahay tiir la iirkadaanahay adiga hadantaanahay arlagu gam'aanahay tiir la iirkadaanahay adiga hadantaanahay ololyo dabbaanahay onkodiyo colbaanahay haddii laga baqaanahay seef laba aflaanahay geesi aaminaanahay indhihii dalkaanahay ololyo dabbaanahay onkodiyo colbaanahay haddii laga baqaanahay seef laba aflaanahay geesi aaminaanahay indhihii dalkaanahay abur iyo masbaano eedaad ku iima karo abur iyo masbaano eedaad ku iima karo abbaha dalkeen.
The ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti in Riyadh, Yaeddin Said Bamakrama, in his capacity as a Dean of the Diplomatic Corps to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, took part in the ritual washing of the Holy Kaaba at the Al-Haram Mosque on Sunday, July 21, alongside His Royal Highness Prince Saud bin Mishal bin Abdul Aziz, Vice Governor of the Makkah Mukarrama region and the Minister of Hajj, His Excellency Tawfiq Arabiya, as well as the President of the Religious Affairs of the Al-Haram Mosque and the Prophetic Mosque, Sheikh Abdurrahman bin Abdul Aziz Al-Sudais. The washing was carried out with the Zamzam water mixed with the rose water. In this very hot summer period in our countries, many compatriot holidaymakers and others continue to travel to the neighboring countries to spend their holidays. Buses departure from the capital, Ali Sabih, the capital city, Ali Sabih, are authorized to drop off a traveler initially at the Jubilee borders post of Galilee. Once all the exit, visa, and foreign travel procedures have been completed, the national carriers are authorized to take travelers to the Ethiopian borders post to complete the same procedure for entering the country before taking the Ethiopian carriers minibuses for the journeys to the localities as far as the town of Diredawa. For 6 consecutive years, Djibouti transporters have not been allowed to drop off holidaymakers at the Ethiopian border post, commonly known as Galilee, at the initiative of the regional authorities, namely the prefect of the region, Abdul Malik Muhammad Benoita, the president of the regional council, the colonel of the armed forces stationed at Galilee, Robli Muhammad Robli Abdallah, and the head of the police detachment and the head of the customs brigade, Muhammad Mumin Hassan, in consultation decided to make it easier for Djibouti travelers going to Ethiopia to cross the border. The decision was taken in consultation with the president of the Ali Sabih Bus Union, Mohammed Farah Hawaberi, who transport passengers to the border town of Galilee. To this end, they have begun discussions with the immigration federal police and customs officials at the Ethiopian border posts. For the international scene, worldwide computer failure affect 8.5 million computers, and Microsoft has announced that 8.5 million computers have been affected by the recent worldwide computer breakdown. A corrupt update to the CrowdStrike software caused Windows to crash. The outage affected computers around the world from Thursday to Friday. We've been talking a long time in the industry about the inherent fragility of the fundamental elements of the internet, those little bits of activities and infrastructure that underpin the whole things, and which, if they go wrong, can have very serious consequences on a global scale, said Ciaran Martin, former director of the UK National Cybersecurity Centre. This is the first time the company has quantified the scale on the outage and suggests it could be the worst cyber event in history. Flights were unable to take off or land. Some businesses were unable to accept card payment, or hospital or clinics had to conceal their operations. And to close up this edition, Joe Biden withdraws from the presidential elections. Kamala Harris declares her candidacy. U.S. President Joe Biden has ended his re-election campaign, declaring that it is what's best for my party and for the country. This decision comes 4 months before Americans go to the polls, which will change the race for the White House. It comes after weeks of intense pressures from her Democratic colleagues following a shaky performance in the debate against Republican Donald Trump at the end of June. In a letter posted on his social media account, Joe Biden said it had been the greatest honor of his life to be president. Following Biden's withdrawal, Kamala Harris announced her candidacy and said she was ready to beat Trump. I will do everything in my power to unite the Democratic Party and unite our nations to defeat Donald Trump, she said in a statement praising the president's selfless and patriotic act. And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.